Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Satan's Hollow. I wiped off as much as I can. I don't want to do any more to damage this artwork. So whatever's left, I'll just have to brush touch it up. I'm going to start sanding down there and around the edges so we can start fixing all the nicks and stuff like that. So I'm going to sand that with some 180 grit. Let's just try it and see how it works. Turn the air on. Okay, I'm going to get this all sanded down smooth, like you can see back there in the back part. And then I'll come back and show you guys what it's looking like. Okay, I sanded down all around the artwork. Paint came off actually pretty easy. There's quite a few nicks and stuff I need to fill in, especially around the edges. Let me pull off this T-molding, and then we're going to mix up some that glazing putty, so we can get all these spots filled in. I want to get this side body worked, and then we'll flip it over and remove the paint on the other side. It would have been nice to have kept a little bit more of the red paint, but it was in pretty bad shape. Alright, so let me bring the camera over here so you can see. And then I'll have to just touch up, you know, on the white and the yellow. Just by hand, I'll just get it touched up. You see if there's still some black in there, but I'm afraid if I scrub that, I'm gonna start wearing off the artwork. So I don't wanna do that. You know, it's gonna be a little bit tricky to figure out, but like right through here, there should be a red line. I might try to get a little bit more of that off right there. But on the edge here, it's in pretty good shape. Just some very minor chipping. Basically around all the edges, there's just some chipping. And there's a couple gouges in the middle I need to fill in. So let's mix up a little bit of icing. Let me go grab glazing putty rather. Let me go grab some and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm filling in the nicks all around the perimeter. I forgot to hit record. I don't know if I recorded any of that or not. But what I was saying while I'm filling in these nicks is I found an original board set for Sinistar. I have all the boards except for the speech board, which I might have found as well. I'm waiting on a guy to respond to me about that. The only thing I'll be missing on Sinistar is a wiring harness, which I'm waiting for Ken from Golden Age Arcade to get back to me. He can make a joust one and stuff like that. So hopefully he'll be able to figure out and make me one for the Cinestar. And then also I need one for Robotron because I found all the original boards for Robotron as well. So I'll be able to take the J-Rock board out of the Robotron cabinet too and put the original boards back in there. And he's also currently, Ken from Golden Age is making me a harness for Cinestar right now. So hopefully he can figure out those harnesses, or not for Cinestar, for Satan. He's making me one right now for Satan's Hollow. So hopefully he can figure out for Cinestar and Robotron. I think it's mostly the same as Joust. You know, I'm sure there's a few differences. I'd imagine Cinestar is going to be a little bit different than Robotron because of the speech board. I know like the main cabinet wiring harness should all be the same for the marquee light and speakers and all that probably. Now there's some nicking in here. I'm just going to leave that nick in there and just touch it up with paint. Because if I start putting filler in there, then I'm just going to end up probably making it look worse. I'm just trying to feel around for any nicks anywhere. I think the center of this felt pretty good. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. Then I'm going to sand it, and then I'll come back and show it to you guys. Probably have to put one more coat on. But after that, we'll be able to get this cabinet flipped over. I want to get the alcohol on it and let it set for 5 hours or so that I can do some other things while the other side's soaking. And then once we get both sides done, we'll be able to sand the front and the top and the back and all that. I got to fix that back door. It's missing a big hunk out of the corner. But after we get all that done, we'll be able to get it in primer. Once it's primered, you know, then the next step will be sanding the primer and painting it. So, all right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I sanded them all down. I'm going to mix up a little bit more, and we're going to put one more coat on. And then this side can get sanded down, and it'll be finished until I have to tape it off and do the primering. I think what I might have to do is in like this area here, I might have to use regular craft paint to fix that, because I don't know that I'll be able, I might be able to tape it off. We'll see how it works out. But this is definitely going to take a while to touch up and get this cabinet painted. I'd imagine it's probably going to take most of a day. After this coat, we will be good to flip it over. Hopefully the dollar store open. I don't know what time they open. It's only 7:30 in the morning, so I don't know if they don't open until probably 8 o'clock, and I guess I'll run down there and get a couple more containers of alcohol. At least now I got a ballpark idea about how long to let it sit. I'm gonna let it sit for probably 6 hours. Be nice to have this all stripped down and bodywork today, if I can. I don't know if I'll have time. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up another game, and that'll probably be my last pickup for a while. I gotta get this car done, and I gotta get a bunch of these games done too that I already currently have. I think I got all the nicks. the little ones. When I primer it, I'll find any that I missed, and then I can touch them up. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry, I'm gonna sand it, and then I'll come back. Okay, this side's all done. I'm going to get it flipped over so that we can start soaking the other side. I gotta get it flipped over and then run down to the dollar store. As far as the red paint on this cabinet, I found some red paint that I had, a couple different containers of it, and 3 different ones actually. And all 3 of the containers, the red's almost the same. And it all pretty much looks like it matches this cabinet real close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just probably mix them together and use them on this cabinet so I don't have to buy any paint. I might as well use what I have rather than wasting money on buying some more paint. Because I'm painting the whole cabinet, even if it were a hair off, you'll never notice it. But it should be a real good match. Okay, you can see the side art on this side. It's like they spray painted and left his face. So, all right, I'm gonna go get some couple more containers of rubbing alcohol, then we'll come back and get this side done. Okay, I picked up some more alcohol. I think what I'll do on this one is I'm gonna stay away from this little bit right here where there's no paint. No point in soaking that with alcohol and softening that up if I don't have to. So we're gonna do the exact same thing we did with the other side. Get our towels laid out. I think what I'll do here is run one this way. All right, let's get it saturated. Use up the rest of this one first. And it's 8:30. So probably around 2:30 I'll check on this. 2 o'clock maybe. I think that's pretty good. A little bit more right here. All right. Keep this covered up. All right, that is going to sit now until about 2 o'clock. So I will see you guys later on. For you guys, it'll only be a second. Okay, it's been just under 6 hours, about 10 minutes shy. Let's see what this looks like. I think it's gonna have to sit for a little longer. So I'm gonna pour some more alcohol on here and let it set a little longer. And we'll see what it looks like. Like I said though, at the bottom I'm not as worried about it. Let me pour some on here real quick. And then we'll flip up the top part and see if that's any easier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of pour this right on the wood, and we'll just flip the paper towels right on it again. Okay, let's try up top, see if that's any better. Yeah, it's like looks like they almost used more paint on the bottom than they did on the top of the cabinet. And I think this is gonna have to soak for a little longer as well. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna pour some alcohol up here and let it sit. And I'll come back in about another hour. See if that does anything else. Okay, it's been a little bit over another hour. So we're going on a little bit over 7 hours now. Hopefully this will start coming off. I don't want to leave it on there for too long. I don't know if it would damage the artwork on here or not. But I gotta leave in a little while, so I might just have to scrape off. It is what it is, I don't know, we'll see. I went and grabbed some more alcohol. I'm through 4.5 bottles so far. Like I said, down here I'm not as worried about it because I'm gonna sand it like I did the other side. So I'm not gonna stress out too much about this. This down here is good enough. I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some alcohol right here and roll these back to here, and then we'll work on the top part. See if we can just loosen this up a little bit more right here. Side's being a little bit more stubborn than the other, so we'll leave that like that. Pull this back. if we can scrub a little bit of that off without damaging the artwork. Where did I put that alcohol? Here it is. I don't know if you guys can see here. I'm gonna move over to here. Trying to find that magic eraser. I don't know if I threw it in the garbage can or not. Might have to go grab another one. Don't know where I put it. Well, I guess I'm gonna go grab another one. I actually found the one I was using. I threw it in a garbage bag. I think this side, the wood's a little bit rougher, so that's probably part of the reason why it stuck better, or they used a different kind of paint on this side versus the other, which is very possible as well. Kind of hoping to get this off the white, because white's always hard to paint over when you have black stuck underneath it. It takes like a lot of coats to coat over the white that has black under it. So I'm gonna take some of this alcohol and kind of just let it, maybe I'll leave the pad sitting on there for a minute. And then I'll come back in a few once I get some more cleaned up. Kind of pointless to keep showing you the same process. Okay, I got off everything I could without damaging the artwork. It's just gonna take some time to try to, I need to try to get this off right here, because this is really kind of, I'll mess with this a little bit. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and, it's actually working pretty good in my finger. Might not have a finger left, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down and stuff and get the first coat of filler on. Then I'll come back and show you guys how it's looking. Okay, sanded. I did the first coat of glazing putty. I've just applied a second coat, so I'll get this sanded down. And then so basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna end this video as part 2. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up a couple arcade games. When I get home, I got like a 9-hour round trip drive, so I'm gonna be gone a while. But when I get home, I plan on standing this up. We'll do the front, inside, where the monitor goes, and the back and everything. And then we can get this in primer tomorrow. We'll have to tape off the artwork and stuff. We'll get it in primer so that hopefully this weekend we can get this thing painted and I can get it down into the basement. So I'm gonna go ahead and end part 2. Really not much exciting things going on, but we're getting there. So I will see you guys tomorrow.